Hi everyone, this is Mike Gordon, and welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Final Fantasy VI Advance. Last time we had just gone through the Phantom Train, and I decided to reset Sabin's level to level 1. We're about to recruit another character. I fully unequipped Shadow, and replaced Sabin's ribbon with a second earring. So, looks like that's pretty much it. So we are going to enter inside, now that we're fully equipped for this next part. And Shadow is fully unequipped too, he's about to leave our party. And at first I honestly thought that this episode would be fully devoted to the Veldt, outside the beginning portions of course. But it turned out not to be the case, and I was able to make it pretty far beyond this part. And here you go, Shadow just left your party, which is why you unequip Shadow. Additionally, you fully heal after this, so, win-win. Alright, the general strategy here is you're supposed to wait for about a minute or so, with only one enemy on the field like this. And you actually want enough time to pass, so Shadow, so that way we can get past these Apicus fishes, go straight for the main boss, Rizapas. Now, if you were doing the American or the traditional rendition of the low-level game, my strategy would be to set up the Sky and then take out the last Sky. But except Cyan doesn't have Sky. He's level 5 in the European because the level reset, which Cyan is level 5. And I want to completely screen that up. That's okay. It's not like, because of the level reset, it's not like Sabin's gonna die in this fight. So really, it's just a matter of Razorwind and what was it called? And Razor Gale. And Fang. Over and over again until he dies. And that's all she wrote. And here's our next party member. And I'm gonna talk about this character in the Veldt in just a minute. And yeah. Also, I kind of prefer this music track to, which is actually Gao's theme, over the track that you're about to hear on the Veldt. And, similar to Shadow, Gao is basically an optional character in all but name. The game forces you to recruit Gao, but otherwise you can pretty much play through the whole game without him. He has almost no bearing on the plot. Anyways, with all that said, it's time to make our way to Mowgli's. By the way, it's worth noting that Gao will occasionally appear during these random battles. So I actually kind of hope I don't run into him at all. Alright, and oh yeah, because we're about to fight Sala, I swapped out one of Sabin's earrings with a ribbon. And I also decided to just fast forward this battle because it's otherwise just an overlong grind. Now, like the Rizapos fight, this is just a matter of Sabin uses Razor Gale and Scion uses Fang. Over and over again. And we want to fight this guy a few more times because we really want to build up our inventory space for Green Berets. And now we're in Group 9, so... But that's okay, we made it to Mobley's. Here, we get our first side quest of the game, which is the Wounded Soldier side quest. The objective is to send in 5 letters. We have to talk to this guy. He's a soldier from Miranda. He fled, got attacked. Now he's on death's door and wants you to send letters to his girlfriend in Miranda. And yeah, we basically need to help this guy out. And additionally, there are 5 methods in advancing the Wounded Soldier side quest. Every time you send a letter, you have to do one of 3 things. Talk to any of the shopkeepers, you don't need to buy anything. Speak with the innkeeper, again, you don't need to spend the night. Or talk to that scholar that I will show off a bit later. And ask him about the Serpent Trench. It's fine because we actually want to all but max out on white capes. These are very, very expensive. And we already maxed out on sprint shoes. Anyways, we want to rest up at this bed here. Kind of interesting that there is an inn in town and yet you can just sleep in this bed instead. Very, very interesting indeed. Anyways, we advanced to the second part, so we just need to send him another letter. And I think this one is a record or something. Yeah, I think it's a record. Yep. Just want to make sure I grab the elixir here. Now we want to go to the item shop because there's actually a brand new item that we want to get. I'm going to buy 99 of these. And I decided to just check to see if there's anything else I would want. There really isn't, at least not yet. So, we got to advance the side quest a bit, yet again. And now we have to give his girlfriend a potion to help cure her mother's illness. But don't worry, that potion is not taken from your inventory or anything. And, oh yeah, fucking NPCs just get in your way. Alright, the only weapons worth getting right now are the Kotetsus. And let's look at them. And let me just add. Anything else? Oh yeah, iron armor. And yeah, I want to give him the. Like, oh wait, I want to keep the bandana on Sabin. So yeah. And I don't need the ribbon for a while, so back to double earrings for the next battle. So, Send him another letter. And now he just wants us to write him another letter to send back to his girlfriend. And I've already complete all my shopping here, so let's talk to the scholar right outside this building. This guy will advance the side quest. Huh. So if we had the diving helmet that they spoke about, we could actually make it to Nikeah and perhaps get a boat back to Figaro or Narsh or whatever. Very interesting. Unfortunately, the diving helmet was apparently stolen. So, we're gonna have to try to get that back. And now we want to send his girlfriend a book, and that's actually the last letter that we need to send. Now we talk to the wounded soldier. I wish this guy stopped getting in my way, but I don't have the sprint shoes, so yeah. And he's thankful, and he gives you the Tintinabulum relic. It's basically this game's version of the cat spell. You equip it, and every step you take, you recover a bit of your health. And now we want to try to run into Gal. And unfortunately, if Gal appears at the end of any battle, you don't get any bestiary entries. Even if you were to chase him away by attacking him. You still would not get the bestiary entries for these enemies. So, we actually want to quickly recruit him. I forgot to reorganize my inventory. That's alright. Anyways, you had to give this guy dry meat in order for him to properly join your party this time. And by the way, it's worth knowing that Gal's level is set the second you name him. Set to the level average +2. So Gal's gonna be level 5. If you're playing the American or any other version of this game aside from the European advanced version, the lowest level Gal can be a 7. And it's actually heavily implied that this is how Gal learns one of his rages. Or specifically, the Zagram Rage. And, ow, 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 ow. That's kind of an interesting thing I noticed with Gal. There are certain words that he will say and say repeatedly, and it's literally anything that rhymes with his name. Like, wow! Or gal! Or foul! And, yeah. I'll give you presents. Yeah, and, huh. Alright, so, I'm gonna learn every rage we can right away. Alright. That's Mobliz, where Sabin's at. Cyan is where the river, where the river from Barren Falls brought us, and where Gal stands is where Crescent Mountain. So we actually have to bring Gal with us to Crescent Mountain to find his shiny treasure, and that's the only reason why he's mandatory. The rest of the game, he's effectively an optional character. My name is not Mr. Thou. Also, I am not your sweet Baboo. Alright, we're going through the, we're going through this tutorial here. And after the tutorial, I'm going to perform a level reset. This time, instead of resetting anybody's levels back to an earlier state, I'm going to bolster Sabin's level instead. That basically involves making it all the way to when he first joins you during the boss fight against, Alright. Let me see what's going on here. Alright, so I decided to rearrange, Sabin's, equipment here. You know, Sabin gets the ribbon and the earring because I reset his level from level 1 to level 12, and I give Gal the double earrings. And here are the 9 rages. One of them is an enemy we have not encountered yet, which is Were Rat, and another, the Zagrim, is implied to be how he first learns to use, is implied to be from when Sabin has battle with Gal. Anyways, we're going to learn all of Gal's rages, and the first thing I decided to do is leap on top of the guard leader. Guard leader is pretty freaking good rage. Too bad we really aren't going to make any use of it. That's alright. The Hornet 2 is not a formation that is already a starting rage, so we're gonna try to kill these guys and hope Gal shows back up. He already has the Belmadar rage learned, so really he's just learning the rages for Mu and Unseelie. In hindsight, probably could have brought the Mu and Unseelie formation or 3-5 back in lock scenario. I wasn't thinking ahead. Oh well. And this is what happens. Whenever Gal leaps on an enemy, or comes back at the end of a battle, he will learn whatever rages he hasn't learned from whatever enemies are on the field. Both leaping and then returning. So we're at 12 rages. And this is really good. That's a really rare rage. 4-2, really difficult to find. And there's really nothing you can do about it because it's sandwiched between 2 Magitech armor formations and they're both unskippable. Now we want Gal to come back at the end of this. Wow! And don't attack him. You attack him, he runs away, and you don't get to learn the rages. And again, if he appears after the battle, you will not get the bestiary entries. Not that it really matters because we already learned all the bestiary entries prior. So now we want to run into Doberman 2 here. And we did. Anyways, both of these formations are formations that we need, so we don't really care either way which one we end up getting. Alright, because we already killed these enemies and added them to our bestiary, you know, at the start of this episode, we just need Gal to come back. And for the record, I actually manipulated all these encounters. How the felt formations work is that depending on which frame that you actually load up a save file will ultimately depend on Alright, I looped on the satellite, so there's only 3 possible formations I care about. Alright, that's one of them. And that's actually much better than Ghost 2 Populum 3 because, to the best of my knowledge, Gal does not appear at all in 9.5. And that happened really easily. So, anyways, how the Velt Rages work, how the Velt Formations work, it's not exactly 2 in 8 chances, or 1 in 8 chances, 3 in 8, 5 in 8, etc. It really only depends on how many empty slots are before them. Anyways, I grabbed Cloud and Bomb, and here's Megalodoth and Garth here. Hopefully Gal comes back, because then we can just focus on getting Living Dead. The Living Dead Rage. This group. Anyways, there are 64 groups in Final Fantasy in the Veld, and they all move in sequence to one another. If you have not encountered any enemies in the Veld beforehand, you will skip that group and go to the next one. Additionally, if you have not encountered an enemy formation in the Veld in particular, say, for example, 12-2 is literally the only, which is the Single Angel Whisper, is literally the only encounter that we've ran into right now, and it's the only encounter from Group 12 that's available. So its chances are guaranteed. Additionally, there are 6 possible slots that will give us Vector Hound 2 and Commander in Group 47. So, if there are no enemies, so if the formation is marked at, like, say, 47-1, and there are no enemies, and there are no encounters in 47-1, it goes to 47-2, 47-3, and so on and so forth in sequence until we run into the next formation available. That's also why it was paramount we did Lock Scenario first, so we get guaranteed Gold Bear Acrophies. Gold Bear is a really tough Veld formation to land if you don't get it now. If you were to get other formations first. So, like, say, in Terra scenario. So we did Lock Scenario first. Come on. And, however, as far as starting points, each group assigned only has up to 4 different starting points that are separated by roughly 64 frames from one another. So, for example, Group 2, let's see. I believe off the top of my head, the only possible starting points for Group 3 are, I don't have the notes for it specifically, but I believe it'd be something like 3-1, like 3-1, 3-2, 3-6. Anyways, I performed a little bit of editing magic here and actually decided to reset the formations here and manipulate it so that way the first formation I get here are the Leaf Bunny Darkwind formation from Group 1. And this will even lead into Samurai Alucran here. And Gal's gonna pop back up at the end. And really, you will know if a good idea for formations like Group 1 or 47 that have a crap ton of different formations that you'd start off with, because, well, because we have not encountered anything from any of the groups between 12 and 47, or even 52 and 1. You know, we have not encountered anything from groups 53 and beyond. Alright, this is a redundant formation, so we're just gonna kill these enemies and grab their loot. Here's the Garlier formation. Yeah, we don't really care for Group 3 anymore. And, alright, that was something we already got. In Group 4, you will never be able to start with Bandit Spritzer. Because the Imperial, the Magitech armor formations it's sandwiched between, it's not possible. And, let's see what I'm gonna... I think I'm gonna about run into the Trillium formation here. Yup. So I'm gonna leap here, because Trillium is a really good rage to have. And I don't really care for any group in particular in Group 6. Alright, Doberman too, but it's a back attack. Oh yeah, Gal will never appear if it's a back attack, a pincer attack, or a side attack. He will only appear if it's like a normal battle with your characters on the left-hand side. Additionally, there has to be space available on the field for Gal to spawn. And certain formations are just far too crowded for Gal to ever appear in. Alright, so we weren't able to get Gal back, so we just have to hope that he returns, and hopefully he returns during the appearance Chippy Rabbit formation. Well, it's supposed to be Chippy Rabbit 2, not Chippy Rabbit 3. Alright, and yep, Gal came back. Once Gal starts talking, you won't be able to initiate any attack commands anymore. So now we can just go green beret farming from these satellites for the rest of the way. Additionally, the only enemies we need to encounter still in the belt are Bjarna's Chippy Rabbit for bestiary entries. Alright, and I believe I gave Gal the Cloud formation. Yes, I did. So what happens with Cloud is he just casts Thundara. Really good to learn against satellites. I hope to God the next formation's Heavy Armor, followed by Oversoul and Living Dead. Because that basically locks us in for... Which means the next time we manipulate encounters on the Veldt, we don't have to worry about things like... anything from Group 9 and beyond, I should say. And I ran into the exact formation we needed, Oversoul, Living Dead. So whatever it is I encounter in Group 11 doesn't matter. Ooh. And Gal rejoins the party and learns an additional 2 or 3 rages. And alright, we're almost done. We only need 6 more rages learned for Gal. And there are none left to learn in Group 11. And the only formation we need to worry about is in Group 47, which is Vector Hound Commander. Because we never encountered Commander 3, we don't have any encounters for Group 16. Commander 3 is going to be one of the very last belt formations that we're going to grab in the entire game, by the way. Alright. So we have 75% odds at running into Vector Hound and Commander in Group 47. Moment of truth. And there it is. Alright. And now we just need Gao to come back in Groups 48 or 52. Doesn't matter which one. I prefer 52 because you get a lot more gil from Gold Barren Acrophes. Alright. Here's our Gale and Bushido. And Gao comes back here. Bummer. Well, it wouldn't really matter because Gao. Because we can't get any spoils from whatever enemy we encounter if Gao comes back. That was a close one. And just use Garlier here and it landed. Kind of shows that even at level 5, Gao is still a force to be reckoned with. And how I do it, how I splice this is literally every time I go to heal, and I come back, I would save my game, I would reset, and then cut out all the in-betweens to make it look like I just popped back outside. Fact of the matter is, I save buffered, and found a frame that will get me the remaining 4 rages, as well as the final 2 B-Series entries, prior to Group 8. So here's the moment of truth. I manipulate this first encounter, it's Foper or Rock, and by extension I manipulate every other formation afterwards. Don't care for Group 2 or Group 3, because I already grabbed all the formations there, all the Rages and B-Series entries in Groups 2 and 3. And there are only 2 more Rages left for us to grab, and 2 more B-Series entries. Wow! You're a friend. I kind of have a certain voice in mind for what Gao would actually sound like. I wonder if he's in World of Final Fantasy. Probably not. Celeste is. Alright, so we're just going through the motions here. Wow, 50% odds of encountering this formation, and we encounter it every single time. Alright. Now we just need to encounter Gorga Serpia, so groups 4-4 or 4-7. Got 4-4. A little redundant, but it'll do. We grabbed our final 2 rages. Now we just need to get Gao back. Oh, preferably by 7-7 before we reach Group 7. Alright, there's a decent chance he'll come back here during this battle. Alright, kind of disappointed that Wind Gale doesn't do more damage. Alright, so Gao came back here. So that's all 46 rages he can learn. So we have no further reason to leave him onto the belt anymore. So we just need to grab the final two V-Series entries, and then we can focus more on farming for Green Berets in Group 8, since the odds are guaranteed that we'll encounter a Green Beret anyways. Alright, and now the moment of truth. Will the last encounter be Barren and Chippy Rabbit? Again? So we can add them to our bestiary? It is. It's also a back attack, but not that we care. And that's it. That's all the grinding we need to do on the belt. We just, well, minus the Green Berets. Now technically Gal can max out 51 rages at this point, but that's only if you do Terra scenario first. And I just hope that Gal doesn't troll the hell out of us. Alright, Sabin can take that. Yeah, Gal's kind of being a troll here. Yeah, Cyan sucks, man. Especially when he only has Fang to work with, Cyan just sucks. But at least we got the Green Beret before he summoned reinforcements. But now we have to heal. And by the way, I'm going to edit all my future grinding attempts to get more and more Green Berets. I'm only going to grind to a certain point, though. Because it takes way too long. Trying to show off me grinding for like a dozen of these Green Berets or something. Alright, I just wanted to show off what my formations are. The remaining encounters here are now effectively redundant. And I decided to edit out the my menuing right outside. So we'll get to it, but it basically boils down to I fully unequipped my entire party. Save for, I think, a single pair of sprint shoes. And Gal forgot where he hid his shiny thing, his shiny treasure in this place, so we just have to go find it. You want to watch all the cutscenes here? This is the spot you need to trigger the first cutscene. And here's the second cutscene. You get a potion out of this. And yes, it gets added into your inventory. I don't count this as a treasure, you know, that you would put in the corner here. But I digress. And here's another cutscene. Here you are about to lose 500 gil. Yep, and God decided to just pull a practical joke on Sabin here. And here's the shiny thing. And immediately after that, you transition right to the point where we're about to enter the Serpent Trench. Now, there are at least 3 locations in the entire game that have different sets of rules when it comes to RNG manipulating for random encounters. But Lady River is one of those places. And this place, the Serpent Trench, is another one of these places, with a different set of rules in terms of RNG manipulation and whatnot. It really depends solely on what frame that you stumble upon the encounter site. Now, I believe this is supposed to happen in Final Fantasy VI, but due to the way this game advances, because it happens something similar does happen in other versions of Final Fantasy VI, but due to the way this game is developed, most places, the second you load up a save file, the encounters themselves are fixed. But here, what matters is the frame that you actually land on the encounter spot, since all these encounters are fixed. Now, because these encounters are all fixed encounters, I'm gonna try killing Gao and Cyan, so Sabin can soak up all the experience, all the XP. And just want to make sure I make the right inputs for my blitzes. And I just instantly kill Ingrid for him. And got Phoenix down out of it, too. Alright, now in the European version, you are automatically positioned to go left. You want to be sure that you're going right instead. No matter what group, this is the only formation group too, so this is a mandatory encounter in this game. Now, something worth noting is that the encounters only move up if it's a random encounter, or if it's a monster in a box. Don't know why monster in a boxes are exceptions to this rule, but they are. Anyways, here's the next potion. And trying to get this particular formation to spawn was a lot easier said than done. And that was Actinium 3 Aspirin 2. That was a really tough one to grab. Oh, I grabbed it. And there are no more encounters the rest of the way. There's one more treasure chest and then we are done with the Serpent Trench. No matter what, we would have to go back to the Serpent Trench to grab the remaining formations anyway, so there you go. Not sure what I think I was just pressing the wrong way. Yep, sorry for my sore throat. And it kind of leaves me to wonder who put this stuff down there, and who installed a door in this cave under the trench. By the way, there are no random encounters in these cave portions of the Serpent Trench. Alright, and these are full encounters. And we wound up at Nikeah. We're just gonna do some quick shopping here. Alright, this wasn't quite the NPC I want to talk to, but she does explain what happened. The crazy old man where we met Shadow and recruited him. That man in the hut who kicks you out for messing with the stove. Apparently, he threw his newborn baby son into the belt after his wife died from childbirth. And it's all but guaranteed already that child in question is Gao. That the crazy old man in the hut is Gao's father. But this is the cutscene I want to see, because this is basically what you would call a portrait cutscene. And it's missable. It's also pretty funny. Basically, this dancer puts Cyan's hands on her boobs, and it freaks him out. The names are Humpty and Dumpty. Anyways, I bought 99 fairy rings because you can't find them any other way other than by shopping for them. Same goes for Silk Road, but I'm gonna leave an empty spot because a party member that we're about to recruit is gonna be equipped with one. We're gonna max out Mithril Spheres because shopping for them is the only way to get them. And we're gonna buy some echo screens and some smoke bombs. Alright, let's go. Alright, I was just being curious here. And last thing we need to do is grab the elixir from the clock here. And now we're done with Nikeah. Wrong way. I don't even know where I'm going. So now it's time for us to set sail for South Figaro, which is already under occupation, but this effectively ends Sabin's scenario. So, with all that said, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. By the way, Gao does not like water, which explains his reluctance to follow Sabin and Cyan through the Serpent Trench. Now, here's our final story, our final scenario. Terra scenario, to be more specific. We've already encountered all the formations here in the Living River, so really all we care about at this point is getting the experience. By the way, this is freaking broken as fuck here. The game just started, I already have Ultima. That's gonna make so much of the game easier even after I reset Terra's level to level 3. Alright, so here we are. Now I sort of realized that you should probably re-optimize my party's equipment setup. Alright. Giga Vedra the Gigas. Alright, I think one of my keys got stuck. So I kept scrolling down past the Gigas Club, and then I completely lost track of where the Hyper Wrist was. Alright, I'm fine with that. Maybe a ribbon, though I'm pretty sure none of the enemies in this next area have status of what? Have a status ailments. So now we are heading into Narsh. Fortunately, these guys are not gonna let us in. They really hated Terra for what happened last time. And, yeah. These guys are not going to be willing to listen to any of us. Edgar tried introducing him as King Edgar of Figaro, and they did not believe him. And I just want to show off Barren as the party leader, since he's about to leave the party for good. It's worth knowing that temporary party members, their levels do not get added to the level average. So, I could have probably done this already, but I decided just to maintain continuity with part 1 as much as possible, just put it off until now. So that's one less treasure chest for us to grab. When I make absolutely sure everyone is equal with the stuff I want them to have. And I think we're good. And yep, so we have to reuse the secret passage that Locke used at the start of the game. And for the record, I manipulate all of the encounters here specifically so I can, run into every single formation I care about getting right away, and only those formations. That's for our next trip to the Bells. See, we no longer need to worry about grabbing these two formations anymore because they are now a permanent part of us. Yippee, hooray, happy new year. And we want to encounter Valier 2, Wild Rat 3. Or Wild Rat 3, Valier 2. Let's use a group auto crossbow, and that should take him out. I think that puts us at 16% bestiary. Yep. And let's see what this is about. Yep, this is a trained ground for test applicants for the city guard. And we just need to follow the light, and if you don't, you will be surrounded by a ton of other lights. And if you don't, and you can only proceed by touching the orange light. Otherwise, you get an encounter like this, and this formation specifically is the one we want. Granted, I kind of hoped it wasn't going to be a pincer attack, but hey, what can you do? Oh wait, Barren's still level 99. Again, Barren's level, because he's a temporary party member, does not factor into the level averaging for party members. Just how I got Celeste to level 3, Celeste and Shadow to level 3, and Cyan and Gao at level 5. level 99 Barren. As we're following the line, sprint shoes and the dash features completely turned off here. Alright, and this is the first of these formations that we want to grab. The other one is where we're at too. For the sake of brevity, I'm going to cut out all other encounters that isn't where we're at too. Alright, so we made it all the way this far. And quite a bit while later, and we finally got where we're at too, to appear. And now we are making our way back to the old man's house from the beginning of the game. I'll figure out if there's anything else we want to remove. I like how Terra was considered just, oh, you too, huh? Even though she's literally the most important character in the game, she's basically what gets the entire plot rolling. And that's why she's generally viewed as a de facto main character of the game, even though many people generally see that there is no singular main character. But that's it for Terra's scenario. Very easy, very quick, very easy. Now a decisive battle is about to unfold. It is indeed. We are heading into the end game for the first act of Final Fantasy VI. After this moment, the plot is starting at this moment, the plot of the game is going to take it up a notch. You know, all the wacky hijinks with the Phantom Train and the 3 scenarios and whatnot. A wild shell on the veldt. All of that is coming to an end right now. Because now, the elder of the Narsh Elder is being informed that that we are on the verge of a second War of the Magi. Zion's people have been completely genocided, except for himself and one other guy, whose fate we don't know. And that's because they were collaborating with the Returners, and they're hoping that remaining neutral means the Empire will leave them alone. But no, the Empire's hell-bent on getting that Esper, and they do not care one iota if they have to kill everyone and everything that stands in their way. And Cyan immediately takes another dislike and distrust of Celeste and tries to kill her due to her actions having decimated Miranda previously, the town of Miranda. And it doesn't even matter to him that Celeste decided to side with the Returners. So there's already some tension between Locke, Cyan, and Celeste here. However, Cyan seems to take more pity with Terra than he does Celeste because, well, Terra was brainwashed, while Celeste acted in accordance to her own will. And oh yeah, they are on their way. Yep, and just like that, we already know Kefka wiped out Doma. So it goes without saying he would not care at all if he killed. You know, that he is totally cool with killing every single person down to the last child in Arch 2. So it's time to make way for war. Honestly, if Final Fantasy VI ever gets a remake, I can probably imagine that the battle for the Esper will probably be something truly epic. By the way, these dialogue text box is automatic between Edgar and Celeste because they're talking while moving at the same time. And then Terra and Cyan both have their word in with Celeste. You know, it's kind of a shame. I generally like Cyan as a character. He just sucks in this game. Especially in a low-level game where he is almost completely useless. Anyways, this is basically the character setup I have in mind for everyone. I'm basically going to try to save time with Celeste and just equip her now. For everyone else, I want to equip them. And I kind of realized that I should probably do Terra last just to see what I should give her. So I decided that, yep, Hermes sandals and what else should I get? Let's see. I guess the hyper rest. Not that we'll need it, but wouldn't hurt to have it. Alright, she already has the sprint shoes, so I don't think I need to worry about that anymore. Oh yeah, Cyan and Gao are still dead. So, yeah. Can't really use them. Alright, Edgar looks good. And so does Sabin. And once again, Gao is dead, so we're gonna have to go back to, not sure what I was doing here. Alright, so here's Terra. And I decided, you know what, she should have the ribbon. So Kefka doesn't act like a troll or anything. And after much careful consideration, I decided that the best item to give her something that will boost Terra's magic stat a bit. So I decided to ultimately give her the barrier ring. Oh, no. I don't want to start this one yet. We are wrapping this up, and next time we will take on the Bella Narsh. So, this is Mike Gordon, signing out.